Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Aatrox, and we're back with another Mortal Kombat 1 video. And before we get into this video, I kind of just want to thank everybody that's been subbing, liking, and even commenting on the videos. Like, I'm really enjoying just the back and forth with everyone that's commenting and just like giving me their overall opinions on like where they see the game and just like the characters and stuff that Warner Brothers are doing right now. Like, I know we don't always agree with everything that Warner Brothers does, or hell, even what I say. We don't have to agree all the time, but like, I'm glad that I have this channel where I can talk to other Mortal Kombat fans and just like discuss certain things about the game that that we all love. We just want to see do better. So a lot of information has come out of San Diego Comic-Con over the weekend. We got interviews, we got trailers, and just like a bunch of different types of information coming out of NRS. So I guess we should really start with the Combat Pack 2, right? Like, honestly, like Combat Pack 2, I feel like it should be called the Chaos Reign story pack, considering MK11's Aftermath was a whole separate pack from the Combat Pack system, I believe. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think I remember it being different. We also gotten hints at possible further story DLC after the Chaos Reigns DLC in an interview with Ed Boon that skewed and reviewed Gareth von Kallenbach.
You can do less in 1 year than you can in 4. So we wanted it to be more of a continuation of the story, kind of expanding on it, as opposed to telling a brand new story from the beginning. And we hope to, continue it even further. So.
I hope I didn't chop up that name too bad, but and that's not even mentioning the official trailer for the Chaos Reigns, and along with Ed Boon teasing about a big surprise in like the Mortal Kombat DLC.
Namesake. Yeah. Are there any other Easter eggs that are part of the expansion?
Yes, there is there's a big one that we're just not announcing. And like when we did the first Mortal Kombat game, we put a character in Reptile, and we never told anyone. We just put it in there, and then actually I didn't even tell the people I was working with, that it was in there. And the idea was, let's make it really rare, make it feel like a rumor, but it's actually there, and we want to do something like that again. So that's the extent I probably want to go, but you'll definitely start hearing about it, and you'll think back to today and go, oh, that's what he was talking about when you heard it. So.
But he said it's like a Reptile S DLC, and if you were around that time, during that time where you could see Reptile like from Mortal Kombat, it's like the original Mortal Kombat, and just talking about the secret to fighting him in the first game, it was pretty awesome, bro. I'm not gonna lie, and like it has me pretty excited. I remember playing through the ladder in the original Mortal Kombat, trying to fight Reptile, as well as like in Mortal Kombat 2, fighting Jade, Smoke, and Noob Saibot. Heck, Mortal Kombat 3 had some pretty dope secret fights as well, when you had to enter a certain code in order to fight all the ninjas except I think Scorpion was the only one that was left out in Mortal Kombat 3. And then like you could also fight Melina, which was pretty cool. And you could even unlock them, I believe. You could unlock Melina, Ermac, Classic Sub-Zero, and Human Smoke, I believe. So having something like that in the modern day era with a Mortal Kombat game could be sick if they do it the right way. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, like I kind of just want to talk about like just do something I don't normally do. Like, if you guys could leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. Like, it really helps out the channel, and obviously I'm a smaller content creator, so any support would be greatly appreciated. Even if you don't subscribe, I hope you guys enjoy the video either way. But yeah, I guess we'll just continue on with what we were just talking about. So I think it's really crazy how much the Combat Pack has really divided the community on not only Twitter, but I'm also part of a few Facebook Mortal Kombat groups, and they have similar complaints, such as like the guest characters being kind of poor choices, Sector and Cyrax being gender swapped, and believe me, I definitely get it. But I believe by getting doing like male skins of the cyborgs, I feel like that could be fixed, and it's not that big of a deal. I'm sure there are people that'll still be upset about the fact that they gender swapped Sector and Cyrax, but I feel like most of the people who care don't even like really playing the story, and they probably just care more along the lines of like the actual gameplay. So I mean, it would be sick if they had the guys version show up in like the story DLC too, but I don't know, like we'll see the way it goes when we actually get our hands on the actual Chaos Realm DLC. Like, it is what it is. I haven't really seen a whole lot of people get upset about Noob like design outside of us, a few people, and even myself. Like, the whole green aspect of his overall design, it's like, I don't know. I like it at some points, and then other points it's just like, I don't know what they were thinking with the green. Like, I guess it's just like the green is supposed to represent the chaos and all that, but I don't know, it's weird. I've even seen people debate whether the Combat Pack 1 is better or Combat Pack 2 is better. But in my opinion, I think it's hard to judge right now. Just because, like, I need both Combat Packs to be fully out before I can really judge them, just to see how the characters play and, like, in terms of, like, how their gameplay is. But if we're talking about, like, more of an aesthetic point of view, I don't know. Like, if you guys have been a part of the family for a while, you guys know how I feel about the guest characters. I'm personally not the biggest fans of them, but I understand the need for them. And like, I'm just gonna wait till the actual pack fully comes out before I just judge them and just give my opinion on them. But for right now, I guess we can just solely judge the aesthetics for like the Mortal Kombat characters in terms of the Mortal Kombat 1 and then Mortal Kombat 2 pack. Personally, I give the edge to the second one, just because like having Sector and Cyrax being separate characters again is just too awesome. If it wasn't for the whole gender swap thing, I feel like this pack will go over a lot better. But Ed knew this was gonna happen, and he even mentioned in an interview that you're gonna get pushback anytime you change something that somebody loves.
Feed into how you rebooted the characters and story, or did you just like, we're gonna do it this way because this is original?
I think if we kept telling the same story again and again, it would start getting a little bit dull, and a lot of our people, they have an idea of what Mortal Kombat is in their head, and when you change it, there's pushback. But at the same time, I don't think it's a coincidence that we're 30-something years later and we're still, as big as Miracle were. So.
But trust me, like, I'm 34. I've been through a lot with Mortal Kombat. Especially, like, I remember back when I was a kid and they first killed off Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Like, that broke me as a kid. Like, I was like, how the hell did you kill the main character of the game? What the hell is going on here? But getting back to the subject, we haven't been able to play a Sector and Cyrax since Mortal Kombat 9. I don't really count Triborg because in MKX they weren't their own characters. And then like I just think that it's pretty dope that we get to play with them again, especially Sector. Like, Sector is like my favorite cyborg, so I can't wait to get my hands on Sector. Also, Noob is like one of my all-time favorites, so anytime he's in a game, I'm excited about it. I'm not even gonna lie. Don't get me wrong, I love Quan Chi. You guys know that's my favorite Mortal Kombat villain. And Ermac is pretty dope too. And don't even get me started on Takeda. That's the homie, but having ketchup and mustard back in just hits differently. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it doesn't feel like a real like classic Mortal Kombat game unless like Sector and Cyrax and the ninjas are all in the game. You know what I mean? So that's just like how I feel about that. And it kind of like, I feel like with Noob Saibot coming back in, all the male ninjas are there, and almost all the cyborgs are there. Like, I think Smoke wants a skin. We can always play with him as a skin, but I think just like it feels right. You know what I mean? And that's just like kind of where I'm getting at with the combat pack aesthetically. Like, that's my opinion on it. I'm sure there's people who have different opinions, but it is what it is. And like, I'm gonna be honest, like, Quan Chi and Ermac was supposed to be roster characters, so like it feels a little cheap that we didn't get them as roster characters and got more DLC characters. But at the end of the day, like, I guess they were on a time crunch because of Warner Brothers and all that. So I get it. And I felt like, if we're talking about the first comic pack, I felt like Omni-Man, Homelander, and Peacekeeper were all pretty popular characters. Like, especially because like their shows have like are more modern, and they're like they still have a lot of hype around them. So I feel like going that route was kind of just like a really safe, like, kind of like, this is a really safe spot that NetherRealm took. But even in Mortal Kombat Combat Pack 2, I still feel like it's kind of the same way. No, like, if you look at it, like, Ghostface was supposed to be in the game since Mortal Kombat X. So I feel like they eventually got around to doing it, but it just feels weird at this point. Like, he just would have fit the game so much better in Mortal Kombat X. And then, like, with the success of Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11, I felt like they they didn't even have to think about it. They're like, okay, well, the first Terminator was doing well. Let's see if we can put Ting 1000 in and see how that does. I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not a fan of this. Like, we just had a Terminator in the last game. Having another Terminator in this game is it feels so safe. You know what I mean? And then Arnold's Conan. Like, obviously, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, you're not gonna have too much trouble selling Conan. You know what I mean? Especially like for the old heads. If I'm being honest. Regardless, if you wanted like a full breakdown of my thoughts on the Combat Pack 2, like, I'll pin the video where I give my thoughts on it. But I also want to talk about the story DLC and the possible future story DLC. Like, I have a full breakdown of the Chaos Reigns DLC where I give my in-depth thoughts on the trailer. So I'll just give you like a quick summary here. Bihan ends up becoming Havoc's enforcer to spread chaos throughout the realms. I believe Sector and Cyrex, along with the Brotherhood of Shadow, were sent to bring Liu Kang and the others to the Chaos timeline in order to stop them from interfering with Havoc's plan. But at some point, Sector and Cyrex betrayed the Brotherhood and helped Liu Kang and the others. Pretty much just like fighting. I assume after Cyrex and Sector fight, like, you know, there's like certain part right after like Scorpion tells Cyrex that you know, you guys have corrupted Lin Kuei, and then they start fighting. I'm guessing like they had a disagreement on what they should do, like after like meeting up with Liu Kang and bringing them into like the Chaos realm. And I think that's where they got things out. Maybe they had like some kind of bet, and then they're like, okay, well, if you win, I'll do this. If you win, I'll do this. More than likely, it's like Cyrus like, okay, well, if I win, we're not gonna help the Brotherhood of Shadows. Maybe that's something what could happen, but you know, your guess is as good as mine. Havoc had also like, he had like Kamidogus and like all around his chest, and I think what's going on here is like, he is part in the trailer where you see him use it. And I just kind of feel like he wants to like just merge all the timelines and just to create one singular timeline, which like that's just ruled by nothing but anarchy. And like, although in the trailer it says that he wants every realm to have anarchy, why would you need the Kamidogus to do that when you could just do that like normally by just sending your armies out to each different timeline? So like, to me, it's a little weird. I feel like the Kamidogus is like maybe him just changing his plans from wanting every realm to being that way to having one singular timeline where you guys kind of deal with that type of thing. That's the kind of like route I'm taking personally. I still believe this is the case even after finding out about the possibility of even more story DLC in the future. I think we could continue down the storyline without the timelines being a factor. Like, they can introduce the other realms, like back in Mortal Kombat, like, you know, like in the like, okay, so for example, right, you could maybe have the other Titans, Kung Lao, Kitana, and Raiden give Liu Kang their Titan powers in order to deal with the Kamidogu empowered Havoc. Having Liu Kang defeat Havoc, but still having Havoc succeed in creating one timeline. This could also be a great way to bring back the Chaos Realm and Edenia, because back in Mortal Kombat, it just be bringing them back into Mortal Kombat, because right now they don't exist in Liu Kang's current timeline. I guarantee Edenia exists in Titan Kitana's timeline, so it could work. With all the realms back to normal, we could see fights between different realms in future Mortal Kombat games. Heck, even in this game, we could see Returnus invading Earth realm, or when the merge happens between all the realms, maybe they merge characters, all different versions of characters, into one being again, and like just have these characters struggle trying to figure out who they are, because they have different personalities and different memories, like of the lives that they lived, and like, you know, have them deal with some kind of like threat where like maybe it's another NetherRealm war where Shinnok's attacking again, or like, yeah, pretty much Shinnok attacking again, because I imagine he would get repowered up if there was a merge. There's also a lot of ways there's just so many ways they can go with the story. The only thing I kind of hope they don't do is I hope they don't use Onaga. I want him to be the big bad in the next game. Like, he's too much of a badass to have him just be a DLC boss, in my opinion. Like, or maybe, I mean, okay, what they could do too is maybe the last story DLC, like for Combat Pack 3, they add in Shujinko, and then you can have like Onaga be like a featured boss, or like a featured character in the DLC that like kind of leads into like the next game. You know what I mean? Like I just think like there's a certain path they could take it, because like by now I'm sure everyone's seen Kung Lao's ending, right? Shujinko's ego is a problem and can be manipulated. Well, Naga isn't dead; he's just chained up at the moment. Like I see a path where they could do something similar to Deception, but with like a little twist. I can see maybe 1 or 2 more story DLC if they go the 5 chapter route. I said that they had hundreds of employees working on MK, so I think that it can happen, especially if the story DLC and the combat packs are tied at the hip going forward. One more question I want to touch on is the cameos. I think we could see cameo packs become a thing with the way Combat Pack 2 is set. I think they use Combat Pack 1 as like a testing ground for the cameos, but I think the cameos are gonna have their own packs. Because I was watching some videos from other content creators talking about like the cameos not being in the actual combat pack, but I think what they're gonna do is, like, obviously Warner Brothers wants Mortal Kombat to make money, so they're gonna do something like that where they'll have individual packs for the cameos. Because if I'm being honest, like, if we're talking about a year worth of content, this is not a year worth of content right now, what we're getting. Because, like, think about it, right? So Combat Pack 2, right, with Chaos Realm, we are getting 3 characters dropped on launch. That's three characters. Like, just think about that. That's 3 months worth of characters being dropped all at once. And then we have another 3 who they haven't even disclosed when they're gonna drop. So what are they gonna do in the meantime? There has to be something to fill the gap, you know, in that, like, in between time, which is what I believe. I believe they're gonna insert cameo packs. And, like, I know people don't want to hear that, but at the end of the day, like, you know, that's like that kind of, I can kind of see how that could be something that extends that period and gives them that full year worth of content with the cameos. Because I'm gonna be honest, like, there's no need to have the cameos be in the DLC pack. Well, I mean, I prefer it because, like, it's less money for us, the consumers. But at the end of the day, like, I can kind of see them go this route with cameo packs. And, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like if they were gonna do something like that with the cameo packs, it would probably be like 4 or 5 cameos, and like maybe they come with a few skins too for like maybe like $15 or $20. Because like I said, with 3 characters on the launch, it's just not enough. It's not enough content for a full year. Even if you do the story, like the stories, you're gonna beat that like probably in a day or 2, and you'll be done with that. And then like all you'll have left is the characters. So, like, I just don't see it being like a year's worth of content. So having a cameo pack could make sense here. And speaking of paying for content, there is one thing I kind of want to touch on that I felt like I haven't touched on in the last couple of videos, with especially like earlier in this video with the combat pack, and that's the pricing. $50. It's a lot of money, right? But let's talk about how it compares to Mortal Kombat 11's Aftermath and what we got from the Aftermath, the DLC versus like the new DLC, right? So what was it? It was like $40 if I'm remembering correctly. It had 3 characters with 12 skins and 5 chapters. You know, it's kind of similar to where Mortal Kombat 1's thing is, because if we're going by Chaos Reigns DLC from what we know so far, which is it has 6 characters, 5 new chapters, and 4 skins. Now it's pretty similar outside of the actual skins and the characters. Obviously, in this combat pack, there's more characters than there would be in like an Aftermath DLC, right? So yeah, so we got 6 characters, 5 new chapters, and 4 new skins in the new one versus like the 12 skins, 3 characters, and 5 chapters. So in my opinion, like I think we could get more skins at a later point, but for now I think we're gonna deal with 4. I feel like they're gonna reveal more information, because obviously, you know, they know this 3 characters is not enough content for a year, you know, if you know what I mean. Even with the season stuff, like, there's just no way. So if we break down the character aspect in the pack, each character is about $7.99 if we're going by the Steam store, right? So I believe, what is that? So with additional 3 characters, that's like what, $23.97 or something like that, which would bring it to about $63.97. Or well, we could see about, we'll say about $64. So $64 would be the appropriate price if we pretty much almost a full another game if it was all like, you know, the Steam pricing. So with that being said, strictly we're gonna, and like I'm I want you guys to understand that we're strictly taking just the characters and the chapters in consideration here. We're not even going to talk about the skins because I feel like the skins is not that important. It's more about the characters and the actual story. So for 10 more bucks than the Aftermath DLC, we're getting a lot more. And it's not to say that I don't think it's expensive, but a character in MK1 is about $8. So at the end of the day, like this is at the end of the day, it's up to the consumer to decide if it's worth it or not. Like obviously I'm gonna get it because I'm a content creator in the space and I want to talk about the game and talk about the lore and the characters and make my guides and videos and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, it's up to you guys to see if you want to buy it or not. I'm not gonna tell you yes or no. I'm not gonna gatekeep anybody in any regard to whether it's regarding the monetization of the game or not. Like I just kind of wanted to talk about that aspect of it because like I felt like with all the information coming out, like I didn't want to forget to talk about the monetization stuff because like Warner Brothers has gotten a lot better. I should say Warner Brothers, NRS has gotten a lot better with the monetization of each of the game. I think that like maybe they learned their lesson after all the content creators were pushing back against like the overpriced of the fatalities and skins and stuff. Like the really good skins like the Kitana and Shao Kahn like winter skins are worth paying for, but like a lot of these other skins are like remasters and reused skins from previous games. Like I feel like they shouldn't be that crazy high. So like I'm glad that they got to the point where they were like, okay, maybe we were doing too much. I'm glad with the way in terms of monetization and they've been less predatory. Although the combat pack is $50, like like I said, at the end of the day, it's up to you if you want to pay for that or not. Like obviously I'm gonna pay for it because I love story, Mortal Kombat 1 story, and I love seeing what's nuts. And obviously my videos, I'm gonna make more videos about these characters and stuff, so obviously I'm getting it. But like I said, it's up to you to decide if you want to buy it or not. But anyways, that about covers it for this video. I know it was kind of lengthy, but there was a lot to go over the last couple just the last weekend, and I kind of just wanted to hear from you guys and just hear what you guys had to say about everything that we know. Like give me your opinions on the combat pack and how you feel about it. Like honestly, I know there's probably a lot of people out there that's not happy about the combat pack, especially Sector Cyrax, gender swap, or like the guest characters in itself. Heck, even Noob Saibot. Like there are people that are going to complain about it, and that's fine. It's okay to complain about it and like just be upset. Because like if you want the developers to hear what you have to say and like you want them to understand like these things don't make sense of what you're doing, like I kind of wish that they would take polls for characters they want to see come to Mortal Kombat so they can like get the community involved and the characters that are being brought, so there are less times when we're like this where the community is split on whether they like the combat pack or not. Because I feel like this combat pack should be go over way better. Come on, Sector and Cyrax coming back to the game and Noob Saibot, we're getting all the ninjas and all the cyborgs. Like there should be a better reception to this, but because of all the changes they made with the gender swaps and then the terrible guest characters that a lot of people don't like personally, like, and then they even said it like this is just a miscellaneous picking, like there's no theme to this combat pack, like I don't know. But at the end of the day, like I want to know what you guys think about the combat pack and just like what your overall thoughts are on the Chaos Reigns DLC and like what do you guys think about what they're trying to tell with this story. And yeah, just give me your thoughts. So if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment on the video. It really helps. And hit that sub button if you really like the video, because honestly, like all that stuff kind of helps the channel grow so we reach more people. And like just I like getting my thoughts out there, and I like talking with other MK fans about like what they like to see and just their general thoughts on like how Mortal Kombat's progressing. And I want to see Mortal Kombat come back to the front of the fighting games, but right now like it needs a lot of work. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.